Hello, welcome back to episode 23. So I'm just gonna talk over pretty much what all we did in the kitchen. I ended up not getting a lot of good videos, so this whole thing is just gonna be time lapse. I'm gonna talk at the beginning, and once I'm done, we'll just let the time lapse play out. It's also Thursday night before this is going out, so I'm running out of time to make this video too. So first, this is where you're seeing right now. Um, we had some help, and a lot of the cabinets were rolled or brushed, but we didn't like the finish that left, and then we ended up patching more. Like you can see off to the right there, there's a huge line of wood filler because there's a gap there that was a little messed up, and we filled in a couple other places, filled and sanded. But then we ended up spraying everything with primer, which really helped get that smooth surface finish because spraying gives you that surface finish. But then and you may not be able to tell from the video. Uh, when we go to painting, we end up having a ton of trouble painting. So the paint goes on the doors great because we end up laying them flat and painting on them. But on the cabinets, like the little pieces themselves, the ones I'm painting right now, it runs because they're vertical. We ended up trying a couple different things. We sanded and retried some places. I think what we probably should have done is sand a lot, and then reprime so the paint would stick to it better. Because I think that was one of the things we were fighting is once we painted once, we couldn't paint again. Uh, Also, this kind of paint gun that I'm using, it is what the like professionals use, but it sprays a lot of paint. I even have the tip that Graco, it's a Graco X5. I'm using the tip that they recommend for this. It's the smallest tip you can use for the type of paint we have. The smaller tips are for like stains and things that are really thin. Um, but it just didn't work. It just sprays too much. So we ended up getting like an air compressor sprayer, what you traditionally see like car painters using, which I've seen people paint houses with them before too, that spray a lot softer. But that ended up not really working either because it would spray too light, and then once you got enough paint to even cover it, it would run too. I'm not sure why that was. Um, so long story short, we ended up getting the doors painted with the spray I have now, and then we ended up having to sand down all the runs and whatever else, and then just using a roller and rolling all the bases for the cabinets. That ended up working just because it was a relatively smooth finish. There's rollers that are specifically, I think it says glass or mirror finish. So it's a roller specifically designed to get a super fine finish. And it works pretty good. And what I was more concerned about is it all being consistent. So we ended up, so that back where there's three really tall cabinets, that was pretty much the only trouble spot. I ended up being able to spray pretty much everything else after the second or third round of trying pretty well. But we ended up going back and rolling everywhere just so it was all consistent. Ended up looking pretty good. Now we have everything, all the plastic torn down and everything, and we have stuff moved into the cabinets right now, and it looks pretty good. I don't really have any complaints. There's some things I would do differently, obviously. I guess I really would probably start with that finer sprayer on the cabinet bases themselves, and maybe get a different kind of paint, an even thicker paint might work, or just get a smaller nozzle than they advertise is the right one. Um, at least I would try those things, or maybe even better, not even try spraying the bases in the first place. Honestly, we got a good finish rolling, and taping off these cabinets was a real pain. My wife ended up doing most of it, but it was not super easy for her to do. So I think that's really what I'd recommend is take all the doors off. In the previous videos, maybe two videos ago, I made that painting rack. Make that rack, but then you won't have to tape off the whole world. And you could even, like if you're painting at a different house, like you're doing a rental or something, you could just take all the doors home, do them on your rack, and then you don't have to tape off anything in the house. Because we ended up, there's tape behind us. Um, there's tape on the door behind us. There's tape on doors off to the right. You can see some of it right there. I just moved the camera back. So it was real pain to tape off everything. And then obviously spray gets everywhere. So it'd been really great to do this in a garage or if you had great weather, even outside. Um, but that's all I got for this video. Hopefully I can do a better job editing in the future. I know that I'm not doing a great job, but I'm really running out of time um, on some of these. But I try to get ahead of the game and get a better product out for you guys. If you made it this far, thanks for watching.